Hi, this is Rob and welcome back to the blog. A topic that frequently comes up when I meet with a client when we're putting their home on the market for sale is, Rob, what needs to be done with my house as far as staging and getting it ready for sale? Obviously, that's a great question. And, I guess one of the themes that you would think of is the common sense is, making your house look its best with regards to straightening up, making the beds, having everything look its best. But a couple fine-tuning points that some people might not think of, or at least my experience has noticed that sometimes a little bit of tune-up needs to be done. The following. First, obviously, start off with the front of your house. And there's a term in real estate used that you've probably heard of. It's called curb appeal. You want to make sure your home from the curb looks its best. Landscaping could literally transform a house. So if your landscaping is in need of a little bit of help, i.e. if there are a little bit of dead grass patches, if some stuff is overgrown or needs to be planted, add a little color, that's where I think either expert advice from a landscape person or your gardener. I'm obviously more than happy to help out as far as throwing in my 2 cents from experience. But making the front of your house look its best. Obviously, if there are kids' toys in the yard or anything like that, take them out and just make it look clean. And grass, the front of your home with the grass should look its best for sure, if there is grass in the front of your house. And then also, common sense, I'm sure you would think of is if your home has peeling paint, if the paint looks, maybe a little dungy or needs to be freshly painted, that's a consideration as well. Or if there's a lot of dirt on the house, you might consider power washing the house. That's really important all around the house, on the sides as well, because typically a buyer will walk around the entire perimeter of your property before purchasing it. And obviously landscaping in the back of your yard should look its best as well. With regards to the inside of the house, a common theme that you should just think of is less is more with regards to things, your own personal items, and, decluttering. You want to have a house look lived in, but not lived in, if you know what I mean. And an example that I'll give is like a hotel room. If you were to step into a hotel room, typically you'll feel like, okay, I can make this my home for the next few days a week. This is going to be comfortable. This will be nice. And there's just enough stuff there. There's not a ton of stuff on the counters. There's not really anything on the bedside counters other than maybe a clock, etc. There's just enough artwork to make it look, again, comfortable. But you don't feel that or notice the previous guest with any of their items there. So it's kind of the same thing with your home. Remember, the way you live in a home and the way you sell a home are 2 different things. So you want your home to feel, again, like a home, comfortable, warm, cozy, etc. But again, decluttered, especially on all the counters, kitchen counters, bathroom counters. Take things down that aren't being used. Sometimes that's a toaster, a coffee maker, maybe too many jars of stuff. You just take it down and make it look, it'll make it look bigger. Same thing with a bathroom counter. Maybe the toothbrush in a jar or what have you, putting those things under the sink, making those things look as spacious as possible. And maybe you have on your bedside tables, lots of books or magazines or what have you. Declutter all of that as well. And then throughout the house, with regards to personalizing it. If you're like me, my family and I, we have tons of, maybe too many family photos throughout our house. In fact, if I were to put my house on the market, I would take some of them down. Not that I don't mind people seeing photos of my family, but we have a lot. So if you have a lot of family photos, again, it's nice to have a few of them up, but maybe not too much. And that would also go for maybe kids' artwork. I know we have one of my sons' artwork up on the refrigerator door. I would actually take that down. If there are kids' rooms with tons of posters and pictures and all kinds of stuff, it's okay to have some of those up, but I would also take some of those down. You want to make your house look like, and one of the things that I use an example of, if you were looking through the lens of a camera, think of that as you look through each room. And if you're looking through the camera, if you were to take a photo and put that photo in a magazine, would you have tons of posters up? Would there be a bunch of stuff on a kitchen counter? Obviously, the answer to that is no. If you have a pool, make sure that when the house is being shown that the pool cover is off or down. I mean, as I'm sure you know, sometimes those pool covers can look pretty dirty, and it's always important to open that up and make, obviously your pool look as attractive as possible. And, one other thing, don't be there physically when a buyer is there looking at your house. I've had this happen sometimes, not a lot of times, but sometimes my clients will be there, and my clients, fortunately for me, are usually the best of people, very communicative, very friendly, etc. But you know what? Here's the bottom line. With the seller who owns the home, when they're there in the house, when the buyer is looking at your home, you are giving off that energy, and the buyer subconsciously knows this is your house, and they feel not like necessarily an intruder, but they definitely feel like they're a guest, and there's a bit of tiptoeing around the owner and not getting that emotional connection to the house. And I know from being a realtor, I know in the psychology of selling, you want the buyer to emotionally connect to your home, and that can truly, in my opinion, strong opinion, be done if you're not in the house. And so that's really, really important. And keep in mind with being gone from a house, there's one of just the inherent disadvantages of the inconvenience when selling a house. When buyers show up for showings, they're sometimes late, sometimes really late, sometimes they're early. So if you're a realtor, hopefully that would be me in that case. If we called you with the scheduled showing, let's just say it's 2 o'clock, recognize the buyer might show up at 1:45. They can show up at 2:30, and that appointment can end up being a half hour long till 3. It's just one of those inherent things with selling real estate. So with all that, again, the theme is, the way we live in a home and the way we sell a home are two different things. Declutter, make the exterior of your home look its best. Landscaping can transform your home. Don't have your home being overly personalized. And do the obvious. Make sure, again, to make beds and have all the rooms look their best. All the counters to be, the least amount of things on there as possible. And again, not to be there during the showing. I hope this information helps along with all the other video blogs, and if my team and I can be of service for you with any of your real estate needs, I hope that you will call upon us. And also know that the areas that we specialize in, that Brentwood, Pacific Palisades, Santa Monica, and Malibu, are the areas that my team and I would personally assist you. But if you also know of anyone outside of those areas, anywhere here in LA, anywhere in California, anywhere in North America, and get this, anywhere in the world, because of my company Sotheby's International Realty, we can introduce you to the perfect realtor. So keep us in mind as far as a real estate source for anybody you know, especially throughout the country. I network with the top 1% throughout North America of other realtors. So I know the best real estate agents throughout the entire country, and I can always put you in touch with one of them. Thanks so much. Have a fantastic day.